very much about my personal life. I do make like dumb jokes occasionally, but not a whole ton. So mostly it's just like I just kind of make content consistently, and I think that it doesn't. Nothing ever leads to like 200 followers. There was one time when I was sharing like some really cool screenshots, and those got a lot of retweets, and I got like 400 followers in one weekend. But that's only happened like 2-3 times, and the rest of the time is just like anywhere between 0 and 5 followers a day on average. And it's just because I make some cool visual and then I share it, and then other people share it, and then someone sees it and are like, it's like, hey, this game looks cool, let me follow and see what else is happening. So that's really more how that's or what I think is better, like consistency and yeah, being consistent as opposed to sort of relying on these like massive upticks. Okay, so yeah, okay, you know what? This is not well, I will come back to that. Okay. What we are going to do now is we are actually going to get rid of all the trees. Hi, I spaced out. Can you just give me an idea of what this game will be about? Let's see here. This game, let me see. Worked on the pitch. This game is like if MC Escher made a game. So Inception times Interstellar mixed with Starseed Pilgrim and Antichamber. But like both of them on crazy drugs is what this game is. Twitter is your digital pillow that you scream into. I spaced out. If we're gonna hit play now. So this isn't, I'm not gonna show you gameplay right now. I'm just gonna be running around. Yeah, I think earlier on it was more of a digital pillow, but now that there are people following it for the game, it's like it's harder to do so. So you can see, you can change the gravity. Rotate gravity. So that's kind of where the Inception stuff comes from. And you have to deal with... Wow, I think this is 60 frames per second. Hell yeah. We are kind of breaking the game, going no clip, going outside. And you can play with... What the hell? Yeah. So that's kind of it. And the world rotate. There's like crazy geometry, but right now we're sort of trying to get these trees working in the game. So does that answer your question? It's not. It's probably not the best answer, but if you come back another time when I'm not, holy shit, what the hell? Yeah, and it's got like the world. Yeah, it's very much like Portal, but more abstract and non-linear. Like you can see the world actually rotates. It repeats itself in every direction. It's puzzle exploration, so it's not like I'd say puzzle exploration because in Portal it's like puzzle 1, puzzle 2, puzzle 3, puzzle 4. And if you are to look at the structure of Portal, it's very much a linear sequence of puzzles. No matter how many times you play, you're gonna come across the same set of puzzles. Whereas, so like, you know, I'm just gonna show you very quickly, but if I fall off, the world, instead of fading to black, there's just another version of the world beneath you. So we can keep... So this is kind of the stuff that happens, and of course outside you can change gravity and rotate. So this is you know what the game is. But right now, and there's like a gardening aspect. It's a exploration math-based gardening game. Damn, definitions are hard. There are puzzles. They may or may not be the focus. Okay, I'm not sure why this is like... Nice, glad to hear that. Thanks for... Were you... I spaced out. Were you just like randomly browsing and then came across this, or had you heard the game before? Synthoid Commander. I know, I gotta... It's hard. We're in the middle of making it. Well, I'd say like... I usually start off asking people, you know, have you seen Inception? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, you know that scene where they fold Paris in half? It's putting you in that world. And letting you experience walking, changing gravity. But then there's also all this stuff with 3 torus, and then you get into, you're explaining what a manifold is, and you're like, okay, a 3 torus, that's like, you take a 2 torus, and that's where you have 2D screen wrap. I know, I haven't gone to a lot of shows in a while, but, so like, this is what happens in, no, I do not want Internet Explorer to be my top. So like, if you look at, this is so this is 2D screen wrap, right? This is actually, you are on the surface of a donut. So you see, that's how he's wrapping this way, right? Like, you can see now we're forming 2 axis wraps. So this is actually the surface of a donut, and what this game is the 3D version of this. Or yeah, so you are a 3D character on the surface of a 4-dimensional donut. So the surface of the 4-dimensional donut is 3D. The elevator pitch for me, I find it very difficult without visuals. Granted, even though I was streaming, that was not the best. So yes, you're right, Synthoid Commander. I need to work on the elevator pitch. Why is this so busy? I think let's... Elevator pitch are very... Oh, Oh, very cool. Yeah, this is basically right now we're trying to get ready for PlayStation Experience. Usually the show is much more focused, but I do this thing where sometimes I stream to force myself to focus. Because, you know, it's like Friday night, and if no one's watching, then I'm just going to end up playing NBA 2K or doing something not super useful. Is puzzle-based my favorite genre? I don't know. I think I actually like first-person exploration games, but there's not... Antichamber, the biggest influence with Antichamber is actually the pacing of it. This game is actually more influenced by Starseed Pilgrim, which is a game I love. I don't think it's really fun to play, but I think it's really interesting to think about. My favorite game that I like to play is actually NBA 2K. Mostly just that, like, my fantasy of wanting to be a professional basketball player, and that game does a very nice job of fulfilling that. Yeah, I like first-person exploration games. I do. So The Witness, I'm very excited about. Myst, yeah. So very, very Myst. This is definitely like the modern take on Myst, and I think one thing that Antichamber doesn't have is sort of this like very deep system that Starseed Pilgrim does, and that's sort of I'm trying to combine those two, and with more physical-based puzzles like in Portal. Man, none of these trees are turning out right. I'm not sure what's up with the... They're like all a little bit too high, a little bit too busy. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, and I think the modern take on Myst is not having... Like, there are some really bad puzzles in Myst. Like, the things don't make sense from one puzzle to another. There's like a few that I think use the environment really well, and then some are just like totally random. And I think there's like a few modern design lessons that can be applied to that. Which is very much what The Witness is doing, and this game too, but just like even more abstract. I feel like, why are these so like branchy? Okay, that looks good. Okay. All right, that's we're gonna use these trees, and we're gonna have to tailor each one of these to... Oh man, I totally have not shared a wallpaper for Manifold Garden today. Oh, come on. Okay, so yeah, so see, we want this to fit inside this whole thing, and it's currently not. It's right now it's a little bit too big. Okay, so what we are going to have to do is we're going to trim this tree. By trimming, I mean just kind of cleaning stuff up. Okay. Right, like... So, like, see, this goes on for... Okay, this is a little bit too busy. Like, rotate, move out here. This is a little bit too busy, so yeah, well, let's get rid of this. This can actually... So this is interesting because, like, I think this should actually be like that. And then actually what I'd want to do is I actually want to move this out of into, so like this, we can get rid of this. This should be there we go. Right, so this, oh, that must be what's happening. Okay, so there we go. We've got what I think is this is a nice tree. And we will actually lower this one. So oh. Okay, I think this is a lot nicer as a tree. Okay, well, thank you for stopping by, Synthoid Commander, and thank you for your help. Really, really appreciate it. As always, yes. And have fun with UV mapping. That looks good. All right, let's move this up and okay, that's a good size. I'm gonna go play some NBA 2K now. God damn it. No, this is too big. Indulge the addiction. Well, I was thinking. So when I play it, I always give my height as 6'5". Because I was like, God, you know, that's how tall you gotta be. And then I was reading about, but my actual height, I'm 5'10", right? So I guess I'm slightly above average in the general population. I think the average height is 5'9". So I'm 1 inch, but still like pretty short for basketball player standards. And Isaiah Thomas, who's a point guard for the Boston Celtics, he is 5'9". And I was like, that's pretty. And I think you just, instead of having to rely on like traditional point guard basketball strategy, you just now have to kind of come up with your own style, which is very interesting to me. And also, you know, if a guy's like 5'9" and playing in the NBA, he's got to have some insane skills. It's pretty crazy too, because he was the last person to get picked in the draft. He was the 60th overall pick. And his numbers recently are just as good as Kyrie Irving, who was the #1 overall pick of the same class. Anyway, I was thinking what would be kind of cool is to just put my in real life height, you know, in the sense of like the game, looking at the game as like actual simulation of what would it be like if I made it into the NBA, with my height and like how I would have to play, which I think is kind of fun. Indulge the addiction. If I don't have a build ready for PSX, I'm going to blame David Kilmer. Yeah, I think so. This is actually, I think, the best rotation for it. It's always David's fault. It's all the David's fault. let's get all the trees in. David! Okay, so... God damn. Okay. By the way, if you are new and you're enjoying the stream, you should follow the channel. So we're going to make everything blue and then just fix it later. Wow, what? Okay, let's add these to my favorites. Bring this down into the cube renderer, so then now that is green. Soil green. We will really hope that this is actually high enough for them to reach. Okay. Whew. Need more Fords? And for bread. I don't know what Fords are. Fjord? Or is that... I'm assuming you mean... Fjord. Fjord? Where is green? God. What the hell? Oh no. I'll just... Mice and Hitchhiker's Guide. It's actually been a while since I've read Hitchhiker's Guide. Are you talking about the, Ah! Okay, I'm going to end the stream here and take a quick break. So anyway, it's been fun hanging out. If you like the stream, you should follow the channel. Tell your friends about it. Tell people about the game. And yeah, I think I'll do some random streaming tomorrow as well. So anyway, hope you all have a great rest of Friday evening and also a wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys later.